the Lex D battle. How exciting! How brilliant to see you out in the world, facing a random battler in the world, just to get you some XP, as you say. But one of the wonderful things about battling that you can't really translate to anything else in the world is seeing someone cross countries and go to a different league and adjust to different customs. And obviously, it's a little different. You're not going to a blackout. You're not going to a world dom, at least not yet. You're in a shoe shop with Sketch Menace. Am I right?
Yes. Yes.
How did this come about then, you and Lex? This is a weird one.
He thought, what stops Superman from being Clark Kent? Why is Spidey so much stronger than Peter Parker? So when there's battles, when he wants to seem the hardest, all of a sudden, he doesn't need his glasses. It's like he wants to be strong, he loses his specs. He puts them back on, he loses his pecs.
The context of this battle, I had been asked by a teacher to go out and do some workshops in a school in a tiny village just outside, in Alberta, kind of about 2 hours drive from Calgary. And teacher offered to pay for my flights and put me up for a week.
Wow.
So it's like a free holiday to Canada to do poetry, which is what I love doing. And it was in the holidays, I was still at uni, and I was like, this is amazing. Completely up for it. And I kind of had watched, most of the North American battlers I knew were ones that had been on Don't Flop, but I would then check out their battles as it went. So I'd watched the UK battlers that had gone to King of the Dot. So I knew that was a thing. But I didn't think that they would necessarily know who I was. So I put a thing on the Talkback forum with a link to the Big J battle, or maybe even O'Shea, because I thought people might have heard of him, saying, I'm going to be near Calgary. Are there any events going on that I could perhaps come to? And there was an event that Sketch Menace was putting on the week before that sadly I couldn't make, where Soul battled Pigsty.
Ah, okay.
So I would have been on that event if I was there, but sadly I wasn't. But it just so happened that Sketch Menace had watched my TED Talk a week before, and so he'd kind of seen me do the poems, and so knew of me because of that, and then was happy to watch the battle and kind of put a one-off event on. And basically Lex D is... I say a number in the thing. He's done about 50 battles.
He's a workhorse of the West Coast, right? He's got 51 battles.
And he's one of those people, kind of like Danny Jack, where he...
What are you going to say right now?
Got to be careful what I say that. Where he very much is part of the battling culture in that he's made a lot of friends through it, and so loves it for that.
Right.
So I think he pretty much paid for his own flights to come up because he could see his friends in Canada where he'd battled before and hang out for a week with them. And so they kind of knew that. So they were like, Lex D coming up. In fact, I think the first person they said was KOTD. Sketch Menace said that, but that had already been organised for Checkpoint. So Lex D was the kind of next choice they had. But there wasn't an event going on. So he kind of tweeted around his mates, and there's a shoe shop that him and his mates work in that sells KOTD merch that they kind of obviously can film in. So they set it up there and had... about 20 people in a shoe shop in Calgary, very far from home. I battled Lex D.
Was there a moment prior to the battle when you were going over your bars when you're just like, this is mad, this is great, I'm on King of the Dart, what the hell?
I regularly have those moments. I very much I'm doing poetry full time now, and I travel a lot with it. And I try not to downplay it as luck because, I've worked really hard, but I regularly am grateful that I get to do what I do because I end up in these weird scenarios I never imagined. But this was definitely one of them.
No, completely. And Lex is, I mean, yeah, I didn't really know him. Like, I recognise his name. To me, he was very much like a sort of a Joe Cutter, or to a certain extent, Cadillac Ron, rest in peace. Like a name that was on these kind of lower tier King of the Dot events that I didn't really, you know what I mean? He just kind of a name that I recognised. And I mean, he bites bars, right? I mean, there's no other way around it. Like, you know, this guy is so cliche. Like, I was shocked at first, and I went to the comments and they echoed what I was thinking. And it's just like, I mean, we mentioned prior the Soweto kind of, you know, swap or whatever, but regardless of that, there's just lots of kind of just Adolf hipster. And it's like, yes, we've all seen these Tumblr posts, and he's just converting them into bars. This is what it looks like when you pimp a butterfly. Like, your good writing is a soothing balm on the ears, I have to say, like when you come in. Like,
it's amazing. I don't like being mean about people.
No, I mean, you know, it's just
struggle with. And like, he's really lovely. But he's very much a pop culture reference rapper. Mm-hmm. And if anything's happened recently, you can mention it. So like things like there was that song Club Going Up on a Tuesday he references, and To Pimp a Butterfly had come out, and he clearly thought, okay, how do I put that in a rap?
Yeah.
But yeah, he's I've had very strong opponents, so I can say this without it being super horrible. He's the worst person I've battled.
Right.
And, which I make clear in an interview after the Soul Jitsu battle. That's the only other time I feel like I've been a bit mean.
And just to go back, I just realised I skipped over it. When they introduce you both, when the camera pans across to Lex D and to Harry Baker on the left and right, the screen just oddly darkens, and it's kind of like there's a flickering light and a lens flare, and you can barely see each person. It's like, I don't, like, it makes no sense. Like, it literally, I don't know why they did it. It doesn't help. It's not stylish. It's not moody. It just obscures your view, like, you know. But we'll get into the round. Make this rat-a-ta-ta-ta. You know, Pokemon gun bars. You know, you're stretching your limbs out here, and you do feel very, very comfortable. It's great seeing you in this King of the Dot environment, and you know, you're Harry Baker. You're not letting anything faze you, and it's great to say, like, you know, are they ever going to let you be King of the Dot? You ask him. You're playing on this fact that he is the workhorse. He's been around for so long doing all this sort of stuff. You know, I cannot oblige. Have I said Canada enough? I cannot decide. I just cannot wait to get on Canada's side. You know, it's that patented hominin game.
That was like me in super comfortable mode, being like, actually, I've got to do my thing. And I love those Canada jokes. And I felt like that was the start of, like, actually, for lack of a better word, having like a bit of a swag with the puns, where it's like that temptation to kind of like do the like shoulder roll or something and be like, yeah, I don't care if you don't like this. This is brilliant. And that kind of like unashamed like belief in the pun. So yeah, and I was really happy with that as an opener, because I was just like, this is most people who watch this battle, this is probably their first time seeing me.
Yeah.
So what Lex D is to you, I feel like I was to the Canadian fans, if that makes sense.
Mm-hmm. No, completely. And you know, it's testament to the battle's quality, or your quality, that it gets put on the King of the Dot channel, doesn't get put on the GZ channel. Where the majority of Lex D's stuff is. I think he battled Tricky P. What? It is?
No, this is, yeah.
I mean, that is just, as they say, facts. But yeah, he was with Tricky P on there. And I mean, okay, just a final jab at Lex D before we get into the rest of the rounds.
No, it's more interesting if I stop being nice.
Well, no, it's just kind of like, he has, I mean, yeah, it's the worst slogan of all time. He has the worst slogan of all time. Your mama. Not only is it said in such a bullying year 8 kind of just lame American, you know, baseball cap backwards kind of your mama kind of getting your lunch money kind of way, but it's just like, what a way to end a round. And like, you know, you mimic it really well, and you do end your first by just saying Obama. And, you know, I think you say banana as well. So, you know, you're showing a little disdain there for that catchphrase.
Yeah. I mean, it was good, because having him as an opponent meant, you know, I'm undefeated on King of the Dot.
Yeah.
Which I, you know.
World Dom 6?
So I think it clashes with Edinburgh. Not that I've been invited. I was invited to go out for another event Sketch was putting on recently. But But that was against a guy called Copacetic.
Yeah, I'm aware of that guy, yeah.
Who I've only watched one battle of his that turned pretty shambolic pretty quickly.
Right.
But I mean, he's another very self-aware. He does. He's one of the moderators on the Reddit page.
Yes.
I mean, I've not really met him or had much interaction. So I don't know how that would have been as a battle, but it just clashed with something else. But it was cool that, and for that, because with the Lex D battle, I just happened to be there, and so the battle with that, they were going to fly me out, which would have been amazing. Yeah. But the dates just didn't work out.
The Lex D battle is remarkable serendipity, isn't it? That it just happened to be a battle this time. You happened to be in Canada. It is fantastic that it happens. And Lex's second. It's hard to watch these rounds, Harry. I'm
loving the low-key Lex D hate. This is great.
No, this is nacho cheese, and he's like, "Am I right?" Like he turns to the camera like mid-bar to kind of get confirmation from what I assume no one's there behind the camera, and it's just kind of.
Yeah, no, he did do a nacho cheese bar. And it's amazing. There's a battle where Charlie Clips is just freestyling in someone's basement on King of the Dot.
Oh yeah, back to basements, yeah.
Yeah, and he, as a throwaway line, he has a kind of like nacho cheese line. But like, I just think like it's all about what the focal point is. And there was, Lex D, he does a kind of ironic thing, but it's not really ironic. And I think that's where the trouble is.
It's not ironic. It's not.
Yeah, that's the trouble. It's not ironic.
No. Shuffle T's ironic. This ain't ironic. Yeah. Talks about your ancestors being featured in the Museum of Lactose Intolerance. It's just some of that stuff's even like just what? It talks about your poem. You're a paper person. You're a person made of paper weighing 59 pounds. Blah blah blah. Ends with your mama again.
That was the most relevant thing he said.
Yeah, and
the one line I thought he said was good. Was about when you come in through customs and you say that you're touching kids.
Yeah,
like that at least made sense.
It must have been a mix-up. This is you in the second because we got dyslexia like that as well.
Didn't get a reaction.
No, it didn't, did it? No, it didn't. I like that bar a lot. That was very URL PG, the kind of separated syllables. That was delicious. They talk about his glasses and his sight. You battled the table over there earlier, which is really funny. You know who he bumped into on the way here? Everyone.
I love that.
Because he does rock the specs on occasion, and Lex, you steal the lines, you steal the angles, and I'll burn him on Lex Bridge here if he's ever going to come on Battle Rap Resume.
Yeah, I mean he's got a lot of battles to go through.
That would be
you would have to watch a lot of Lex D battles just to get ready for it.
God, that would be like 3 or 4 hours.
Hey, episode 800 is going to be Lex D.
Yeah, actually, that's a good show. Again, this is where he steals the Soweto punch. Basically, he calls it a 2-on-1 because he's battling you and you're battling your lisp.
I don't have a list.
I didn't think you did either. I think it's just a general kind of mastication mouth thing that he's just kind of tying in, I guess. You can't slow your mouth slow your mouth without your teeth showing, and he wraps it up here. But this is great moves for you, and the whole King of the Dot experience was one that you really enjoyed. Yeah.
I mean, it's fantastic because I basically ended up hanging out with Sketch Menace for a week, and he took me snowboarding, and it was absolutely lovely.
Yeah, there's a video at the end of you guys trampolining.
Yeah, we went to a trampoline park, and like Fingers was there, who I only knew from doing the Shotty Horror battle.
Shit, old Fingers, man, there's a relic.
And we were trampolining together, and it was wonderful. And I filmed a send there for KOTD, which is somewhere on the Don't Flop Facebook page, which was just me slow motion doing slam dunks on trampolines.
Yeah.
With epic music behind it. So I had such a great time, and I was so welcomed there.
You gave them Easter eggs, so why wouldn't you be?
Yeah. And it was just really fun and a really good atmosphere, because at Don't Flop events up until then,
there's no trampolining.
Still now, I turn up, I do my battle, and then I kind of leave. I mean, nowadays I know a lot of the battlers, and I can hang out, but often if it's in another city or town, you have to get a train back, and I mean, in a good way, most events I've done, I've been towards the top of the card. So most of the day, I'm kind of quite nervously pacing around, remembering my lyrics. Mm-hmm. By the time it's over, stuff's winding up. So I don't spend a week with most battlers, is what I'm saying. Whereas I stayed with Sketch Menace and just had a really good time. Which was interesting because this was before he was meant to battle and then before all of that happened.
Right.
And he was chatting to me about and how, because after that, so this was before battled against what's his name and did the "oh wait anyway" thing to Sketch Menace, and so Sketch was like very much saw him and her as very similar people.
Right.
So it's just quite funny talking about them getting on and that kind of stuff, and then obviously a load of things happened later, and I was like, I know both sides of this. This is weird.
Harry in the middle. Where do you see yourself by the end of 2017 in Don't Flop? I mean, is there a title shot in there, or?
It just depends on how many events I'm free for.
Yeah.
Genuinely, the next Sunburn I've just found out is in August, so I can't make it.
No.
I really want to be around for the birthday weekend because I couldn't make it last time, so the Matter Battle happened kind of weekend before. Mm-hmm. I mean, I would love to. I still feel like I am rapidly improving. So I feel like the Matter Battle was a really good example of how good I can be. But even in the last year doing my poetry, I've got a lot better in the performance side of things, which I think has a massive effect in battles. And so, yeah, I would love to go for it. In terms of the names in the running for the title shot, Quill by all means is up there. Mm-hmm. But like, I've battled Quill and Ogmius now, but both of them were kind of these concept things. So
no, they haven't been. Yeah.
And obviously, like Shox and Koji are mentioned as the up and comers that could be in the running. Mm-hmm. But I feel like I'm slightly before them in terms of how long I've been around.
Yeah.
And so it's just about momentum. And if I'm around enough to do enough battles, then I feel like I could be in the running.